Welcome everyone to EnviroConnect Belize reality competition, the brainchild of the Department of Environment. We have a whole heap planned as this show will take you all across our nation. Challenging to win the grand prize of $2,000 will be teams featuring familiar faces as well as some new ones. One of those new faces is my co-host Christian from the Department of Environment. Christian, welcome.
Thanks, Rajiv, and hello everyone. EnviroConnect Belize will present you with some of the environmental challenges facing our beautiful jewel Belize. This show will educate on several environmental issues in a reality television competition style, as our teams compete to be the top finisher of our environmental competition. Some of the issues we'll look at deal with climate change, invasive species, and solid waste management, just to name a few.
Right. With that, let's present to your dynamic teams.
My name is Robert Hernandez. I come from Orange Walk, Sugar City, where everything is sweet. And we decided to sign up for the show because we believe in positive youth involvement, and especially in today's upcoming issues with climate change and all of that, I think it's important for us to get involved in our country's environmental issues.
My name is Eric Sanchez. I'm from Belize City, where, like I said, we are definitely sweeter. Why I chose to be on the show? One, because I think that, like Steady mentioned, it is important for us, the young people, to be a participant in not only something educational, but something fun, so that we can show and illustrate that fun and educational can come together to form one good result.
I am Kaya Katus, a female cyclist and female athlete. I currently work at the National Sports Council. I deal with coordinating primary school sports.
And I'm Annalena Apollonia, a former Miss Belize, and currently I'm a teacher and a news anchor by profession. And we decided to be a part of the EnviroConnect Challenge because, we're so big on taking care of ourselves, and why not take care of the environment in which we live in Belize?
My name is Delwin Guevara, and I am from Benque Viejo in the Cayo district, and I am a student from the University of Belize right now.
I'm Summit Betancourt, 21 years old, also a student of the University of Belize. Come from the best town in Belize, San Ignacio, in the Cayo district. Very proud to be from there and representing the Cayo on the west side. Well, actually, Delwin's the one who called me. He messaged me actually, and he told me about the show, and I was actually really excited. So I told him for sure I'm definitely up for it, and that's basically how we got here.
Hi, I'm Janella Leslie.
Hi, and I'm Nicole Zetina.
I'm 25 years old and I was born and raised in Belmopan. I work at DFC as a legal clerk.
I work at Beltrade. I'm a research officer. I'm 24 years old.
We decided to enter the competition because it was something different from what we would normally do for our everyday lives. And it also gave us the opportunity to learn more about the environment and ways on how to protect the environment.
We have to love our country, and in order to do that, we have to protect our country. We bring our side of creativity to the show. We bring a little entertainment along with it.
So I'm Delbert Quilter, and
I'm Anthony Tucker.
Yes, this is Team Victorious. I'm in my 30s. I'm not going to say my age. I was once a dancer with the Belize Dance Company. Now I'm just a stage designer, costume designer, and a dance instructor.
And I'm a QC agent at Transparent BPO.
Yes, I joined the challenge because I enjoy working with the environment. I like a competition, and just to meet people and for fun.
We're gonna bring creativity, personality, and strong love.
Yeah, but the truth, we have the big C, creativity. I've not been that physical, so if I'm physical challenge, I don't know how I do. I've been tripping out on that. But we definitely have creativity from our side, as anime lovers as well, because we name the team Akatsuki, so we just deal with people with the Sharingan, anime lovers out there, if they may have vote, we may have the anime vote.
Welcome everyone to EnviroConnect Belize competition.
We're here at the Regional Sanitary Landfill on Mile 24 on the George Price Highway. This is your first challenge, and standing next to you are those rivaling you for the grand prize of $2,000. Each team will be assigned waste material for you to recycle and reuse. You'll have to search for your materials in a scavenger hunt at Mile 3 Transfer Station. Assemble and create useful products or works of art using your waste material. You'll be given tools that will assist you in your process. But whatever else you don't have, you'll have to find a solution to source them as teams. You have 1 week to complete your challenge, and teams will be judged on your creativity in producing your masterpieces. Does everyone understand?
Sanitary apparel, gloves.
Trust me, sister.
But first, let's take a tour of the Regional Sanitary Landfill. Are we ready for
Trash Talks? Teams, before we send you off to the transfer station and you begin your scavenger hunt, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Tyrone Chamilio. He's a communications officer at the Belize Solid Waste Management Authority. He will explain to you the process of the landfill and how the transfer stations operate. Mr. Chamilio?
Okay guys, thanks for being here this morning, and let me explain to you a little bit about the transfer station and the landfill. But before we get to that, I'd like to speak about the Solid Waste Management Authority. We are the executing agency for the Solid Waste Management Project, which commenced in 2009 and we closed off in 2015. The Solid Waste Management Project focused on 4 municipalities, which we call the Western Corridor Project, which is Belize City, San Ignacio, San Pedro, and Kikaka, and now we have Borough Boom. So we have 5 transfer stations that are currently operational. Now, a transfer station serves as an intermediate point from the community collection waste management system to the transfer station where we do the waste separation, and then on to the sanitary landfill. At the transfer station, what takes place there is when the waste is being received from whichever municipalities that I have just mentioned, the extraction of the recyclable material takes place there. The residual garbage, meaning the garbage that you're not going to do anything else with, then comes here to the sanitary landfill. Now, there's a difference between a dump site and a sanitary landfill. Now, at the sanitary landfill, we have at the bottom of the landfill a complex system that has to do with the waste collection system for leachate, which we call it the garbage juice. You know, that's what people would see it as. It's basically garbage juice. But at the bottom of the landfill, we have something called a geomembrane, which is the bottom liner of the landfill, following geotextile, a geodrain, and then the waste comes on top. When that juice, the garbage juice, comes now, it goes here to what we call the leachate treatment pond, which is adjacent to the landfill. The first one we have is the anaerobic pond, the facultative, and then the maturation pond. If you notice at the sanitary landfill, we have the gas line for the methane, which is being passively coming up into the atmosphere. We do monitoring for gases. We do monitoring for the leachate. We do monitoring for surface water. And of course, we do monitoring for groundwater just to make sure that all of the environmental factors when it comes to proper disposal of waste are intact.
Okay, and how do these municipalities work along with the Belize Solid Waste Management Authority?
Well, BSWAMA provide technical assistance to these municipalities, and of course we give a lot of information, and we work very closely along with the council to give the public information, especially to make sure that we could access majority of those waste from those municipalities to prevent illegal dumping and littering.
So the project does have plans to expand in other areas of the country, right?
Yeah, since this project has been completed last year, 2015, there is already feasibility studies being done to affect those other areas which have not benefited as yet from the current program.
Mr. Chamilio, I would like to thank you for being a part of our show today, and we trust that you have taken this information and will use it in preparing your art pieces as you enter your scavenger hunt at the transfer station, guys. Up next, the teams break off to the transfer station where they begin their scavenger hunt. Guys, before we send you off to the transfer station to gather your materials, we've brought you here to introduce you to Mr. Jose Felix Canol.
Mr. Canol is actually an environmental health and safety specialist. He works hand in hand with the Belize Solid Waste Management Authority, recycling materials that we perceive as garbage. So this experience has actually given him the opportunity to create really amazing and usable recycled artwork.
Now, Mr. Canol is keen on helping you with your creative process, so I suggest you pay attention. Mr. Canol?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all privileged. You know, these are exciting times. I really appreciate very much having been invited to come and guide you guys through this recycling process. You will learn, hopefully you will learn to appreciate waste. A lot of us throw away this waste every single day. You know, they're nothing to us. But there's a large industry throughout the world. In Belize, we have yet to appreciate that we can use what we consider waste to make useful products that you can sell, you can market, you know, things you can do at home, make your houses look nice. A lot of these things you don't need to buy. You could make stuff for your mother out, bottles, plastics, whatever, you know, foam, all these things you can use to your benefit, to your advantage. The first thing I want to talk about is safety. Okay, safety is very important. You're going to be working with waste. Sometimes the wastes are clean, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you need to wash them, you need to get them cleaned, you know. And for that to happen, when you go and select your garbage, your waste, your product you're going to be recycling, you need to make sure that you have your gloves, your mask, your safety eyewear, and long clothing, pants, right? Jeans is preferable. When it comes to waste and recycling, you always hear about the 3 R's, or if you haven't heard about it, well, now get to know about it. The 3 R's simply means when you come to your products or you have a business, you try to reduce the amount of stuff you're buying, so then you reduce the amount of waste you're putting out, all right? And if you can't do that, then you reduce the amount of waste you're putting out by reusing what you put out, right? And if you can't reuse what you have, then you try and find a way to recycle that waste. For example, you would take this cup. When you already use it, you wash it out. You put a plant in it. And sometimes you'd say, that has been recycled. That has not been recycled, it has been reused. Recycling means that you have to put it through a process, that you may change it physically or chemically. All right? So, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be recycling. You're going to be taking a waste product and making something else out of it. For something to be recycled, rule of thumb normally has to have at least 75% of that raw material for it to be considered recycled. Because you know when you recycle product, you have to buy stuff to put it together. You know, glue, maybe twine, maybe spray paint, your own time, etc., etc. You will have 2 groups working with plastics, 2 groups working with glass, and 2 groups working with paper. They have a saying called something out of nothing, and that's what you could be doing. Because these are nothing to us, we throw them away. You're going to take something out of nothing. All right, folks, so now we're at the point where the groups will be choosing out of this cup the waste that they will be working with. That is to remove all bias. I was going to be choosing or giving you what you're going to be doing, but this way, you choose your own waste in this case, right? So group 1.
All right, so Robert and Eric will be doing paper.
All right. Come group 2. So group 2 has chosen. See what they got.
So Ashton and Stephen got paper as well.
Group 3. All right, so that's group 3.
Thank you. Nicole and Janella got plastic.
All right. And now we shall have group 4 choose their waste.
So Anlin and Kaya got glass.
Whoa, all right, that's not so bad.
So Delbert and Ashton got glass as well.
Iron.
Delwyn and Summit got plastic.
Mr. Cano has provided you with vital information, and I'm sure you have ideas already bubbling, right?
Yes.
So now the scavenger hunt will begin, and we take you to the transfer station. Do you know who your rivals are? All right, so now we go to Mile 3 transfer station. Welcome to the Mile 3 transfer station, guys. This is where your scavenger hunt begins, and you will find your respective waste materials. Before you embark on your hunt, Christian will distribute safety gear to aid you in your personal protection. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Does everyone know their group numbers? Everyone knows what they're looking for. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go!
The group is very gung-ho, and that's good to start off on something like this. As I mentioned to them, each and every material has a value. You just need to step back and look at it. See what you can make out of these waste material. It's similar to the guys who take dry wood from the beach. You know, they look at it and they see something and they make something, they carve it out. The same thing goes with this waste, plastic bottles, glass, you know, and different products. You know, as I explained to them, think about what you want to do. Think about what exists already and how you can copy those things using these type of materials here. At the end of the show, we'll see the value they put into this waste product. Like I said, out of nothing, something.
Teams, you've gotten your materials now, and we can't wait to see what masterpieces you go home to create. All right, so good luck, and let's see how you make trash talk.
The material we got paper. It was not our first preference. To be quite frank, our first preference was to get plastic.
When we first got the idea about the challenge, the material that I wanted was glass because I wanted to make an aquarium out of it. But then we got paper. At first, boohoo,
I told Stella that the first thing we'll make would be smoke, and here we are making smoke.
But then, you know, ideas started flowing because of all the things you can do with paper.
We had a paper, we had some safety apparels and different paper materials such as the newspapers and different books and so forth. So we had to scavenge around.
A part of one of the things that we learned over the years is to use whatever we have and make it useful, not just make it decorative, but make it durable. So that's when we came up with the idea about making a patio set, basically.
We started with the sketch of what we wanted to design. Thereafter, we started a mold to get the shape of the design that we had suggested. And we started to layer off the paper, shred some of them, layer them, and we made some homemade glue with flour and water. And we did that, and now what we're going to do after this is we're going to get the framing for the side and of course the foot. And we're going to use bamboo for that.
But we wanted to make it strong so that, well, it can hold me. If it could hold me, I think it can hold anybody else on the show.
So what you see behind you there, where Stedman is, we actually made an oven. The reason we made an oven was because we wanted to keep it natural and to keep it green, as opposed to using butane or methane. We started to use just old wood around to recycle and to reduce.
Myself, along with this guy here, we work pretty well together. I mean, we are an amazing team. We've been friends for God knows how many years. And whenever we are presented with a challenge, we always make sure that we overcome that challenge, and usually with flying colors.
Hopefully the end product looks as great as it is in our mind. Then maybe we move forward into doing more stuff, especially at work and at home, to see if we could recycle more.
We were very disappointed because we both had our hearts set on glass. So, you know, it's no use crying over spilt milk. So automatically we tried to just think of something better to create with plastic.
And we found some really great ideas that you can do with plastic, and they gave us a lot of spoons and bottles. So we said, okay, let's see what we can make out of these spoons and bottles. I had no idea you could do so many things and it would actually look pretty.
We came up with the idea of making a mirror out of spoons. And also Nicole we wanted to do candle holders out of the plastic spoons as well, because they gave us a ton of spoons to do.
We decided, well, we'll make a lamp. And now we took about 6 hours. 3 hours to decide what kind of lamp and if we can actually make it, and 3 hours to actually make it. It looks like something simple, but it took time. And to figure out how will we actually incorporate a bulb and get it to really work. And we tried and we tried and we tried until we got it working. So kudos to us.
Tonight we're going to finish, not semi-finish. We're going to finish our mirror because that's the biggest project that we have. And we'll see if we can go further into doing the candle holders as well. Since I've known Nicole for years, it came very, very easy to work with her. It's like high school all over again, you could say.
We are actually very close. We've known each other since about the age of 5, I would say, running around in Bible school.
We don't argue, we come, if I don't like something or she doesn't like something, then, you know, we both come to an agreement like, yo, no, that doesn't look good, I don't like seeing that. Or if she really likes it, then I would say, okay, well, we can do it, but let's make it our own, let's use this, and we compromise. We don't bicker or argue about anything.
I'm not one to really get intimidated by people, but when we first walked into the first meeting, actually, I saw Adeline and Kaya and I said, oh my.
We're not worried about the creativity part or anything, but it's the athletic part. That's the part that's going to get to us, like if we have to do anything athletic.
Thankfully, I have Janella as my partner who is extremely creative. So coming to the creative aspect and the cooking, she's good at that too. I'm a little athletic, and so I think we balance each other. I think we got this. I hope we do.
Glass, they're not one of the easiest things to work with, and I was really, really disappointed when I found out I had to work with glass. I wanted plastic, paper, metal, anything else but glass. The idea came just just by sitting down, looking at the bottles, I go like, no, these bottles are too pretty to spray paint all of them and just turn them into cups and different things. So I thought about many different things to do with the bottles. And as I'm going along, different things come to my mind and I said, okay, let me try this. And if it works out, then I stick with that. So this is what I came up with.
I designed with metal, I designed with plastic, but glass was something new to me. So to take apart glass and to try to put it back was like having Humpty Dumpty on the wall.
I had to YouTube, I had to Google, I asked around questions, I posted on Facebook, what am I doing wrong? Can someone help me find a way how to cut glass? I've been through like 2.5 crates of bottles and none came out right.
We thought of many different things to do that would have us show at least 70% of the glass without really changing the glass, far from that it's unrecognizable to how it came in. And so we decided to do this like centerpiece for a table that can be detached and hung if you would like, or kept on the center of the table.
Smooth road. That's all I could say working with Anthony, it's smooth road. We're both creative, so some of his ideas is here, some of mine is here. Two heads are better than one.
With glass, it gives me a new concept and it brings new ideas to life within me with what I see mostly to make with hats or something like that when it comes to glass.
Well, the paper, when I first got it, I was wondering kind of what would I do, but like I said, once I know exactly what I'm getting, what kind of paper, if it's going to be big, thick, soft, anything like that, then I can basically try to come up with the idea as more or less how to start off on something.
What we do, I put the pencil in the middle, and then we just roll it up so that it could actually have a perfect circle. Now what we plan to do with it is actually create an artistic work. We have two projects that we thought about. One is for Mother's Day. We'll create a heart with the roll-up paper because we got magazines. So we'll make that into somewhat of a frame, so like an artistic work. The second project is, we love anime, so we'll actually create like eyes out of it.
I'm never really sure exactly what we might get, but because I'm a person who basically into arts, well, lots, and I basically have a very creative mind, and I really find it very hard or complicated to start something. The moment you give me something, all I want to do is analyze everything around me before I make my decision. Next thing you know, I jump straight into it.
When it comes to creativity, I think me and Ashton have one of the best in the team. So I don't see us, having a major challenge. I do think that other teams do have a lot of creativity as well, but paper is easier to work with. Plastic probably will be a little more difficult than glass. That's way more difficult, so I don't think we have a problem right now. The other team that would be most fearful of us, for us would be the team of Delbert, because I know that he has a lot of creativity when it comes to the bliss and all that, so he's always been around artwork. Eric as well, because he and his team, they're very creative and they're very smart.
When we were given glass, that was the last of the three things that I wanted.
It has been quite the challenge because, it's not something that you think of every day or normally. So it has been quite challenging, but we're trying to push through the obstacles that we have been facing so far.
We had several different ideas on what we would have done, and whichever one works, that will be the one that we submit.
We're hoping to create a clock, actually. Why are you laughing? Yeah, we're hoping to create a clock, and it's actually going to be a dual-purpose device. So it's going to have something that promotes recycling and reusing and reducing.
For one of our projects, Annalyn decided that she was going to Google how we cut the glass. And she was showing me a YouTube video on tying a string around a pint and lighting it on fire with lighter fluid and waiting for it to crack and then dipping it into cold water. And it's supposed to just magically split where the string is, but that's not seemed to happen. That is not happening so far. So I guess we have to try that a couple more times and maybe get a thinner piece of string or something for it to work properly.
In terms of working on the project with Kaya, she's pretty much following my lead. I bring the ideas to her and she's like, okay, we can do that. What can I do to make that possible? So she's kind of trusting me with this one.
I was actually relieved. I was hoping we got plastic because I know there's a lot of things that you can do with plastic, but paper and glass, I wasn't too sure and I wasn't too confident about those. I was really glad that we got plastic for sure.
And one of my first thoughts was that where are we going to get so much plastic? It's going to be dirty. We're going to have to wash it.
Devlin actually came up with a great idea to go with a frame that's actually made out of spoons. It's bordered by spoons, and then I decided to add some plastic vase with some flowers made out of recycled plastic bags.
As you can see over there, we are spray painting it and really messy hands, so should have used gloves. But for now, it's a mess. Still garbage, but we're going to make something out of nothing.
So far, we've realized that it's messy work. It's really messy, and it's not as easy as it looks. You know, we thought at first it would probably take us about an hour or two to complete everything, but it's been over 3 hours now, and we're not even 15%. We're not even through with 15% of the work. We still have a lot to go. So
we give each other's idea, and some of them may sound dumb, but we still try to do it, and if it looks good, it's a thumbs up for us. So that's how we do it. We don't really fight or nothing, and if something looks kind of silly, we just laugh about it. But overall, both of our ideas are being pushed into this masterpiece that we'll reveal pretty soon.
Whenever we all walk around and we see trash, we just take it for granted that, you know what, it's just garbage. Nobody wants to touch that. Nobody wants to use that. So when we got this challenge and we actually had to dig into trash, I was a bit skeptical about it at first, but afterwards when we got everything we needed and we started cleaning it up and we actually started making something, we were both surprised of ourselves. We didn't really know that we had that capability to actually come up with something and actually make something out of trash, you know, an artwork out of trash.
Hi guys, how are you both doing today?
Very nervous.
Very nervous? I trust that you guys have completed your first ever challenge, and that would be the recycled art from recycled material. With me today, I have Mr. Cano, who has guided you through this first challenge. And I also have Miss Maxine Monsanto, who is the Department of the Environment Senior Environmental Officer. They both will judge your creation today.
What we wanted to do is we wanted to create art, but we also wanted to create something that we can use.
Functional art.
Functional art. So we decided to do a mirror.
A mirror.
A mirror. So we digged into a lot of garbage, and we thought it would be hard to find a lot of spoons, but right in front of our school, they sell food, so we just had to dig in and find. But one of the difficulties was finding the exact spoon because some are rounder than others,
yes,
and some have like a point.
Yeah,
so what we did was we decided to get the majority and make that be the main, and the end be the round ones. So as you can see, the end ones are round, and most of the ones inside have a pointed tip.
You took it out of the garbage. You found all the spoons. I'm just trying to understand your process of how you went here. You washed the spoons, then you painted the spoons.
At first we didn't wash it. That's why that was our major problem. So we had to go again, wash it, scrub it with a Bristol, let some of the paint come off, and wait to dry, and then we painted it again.
What all are waste, considered waste material that you have used to make your recycler art here?
Well, basically all of this is
Everything.
waste because this is lace actually from some old sneakers I had.
Oh,
And this
okay,
mirror,
good.
well, I don't want to say this, but I stole this from my sister. So I'm sorry for that. And the bottom is box from regular supermarket, so we just
Okay,
took the
good.
box from it.
Most excellent. What percentage of your final art do you figure is recycled?
Well, I would say about 80% of it is recycled.
What part of it is being reused and not recycled?
Is being reused?
Uh-huh,
Well,
not
what is
recycled.
being reused is the
Okay,
mirror.
mirror. Good. I could go with that also. Yes, yes. I'm seeing your space and your end product here. To me, it could have been spaced out enough that you could use one more row around it to cover that. See how these are? You would even tell where it begins. But this you can't tell where it begins, right? That's the one little flaw that I would see.
Yeah, we
in your
actually
product, you know?
ran out of spoons and we didn't want to purchase anything because we really wanted to keep it environmental. So we decided to take that risk, but
Is it supposed to be hanging up or on the table?
no, it's supposed to be hanging up.
Well, let's see if it serves the purpose that you guys have.
Hang it up. Well, there it is. If you guys want, you can look yourselves in the mirror.
We actually have never worked with garbage per se to actually make something. I haven't tried to make art since primary school. So when this challenge came up, we were a bit skeptical, but
Yeah.
I believe overall we were pretty happy with what we came up with.
I think it's good too. I like it. It's good. Yeah.
This is our spoon mirror. When we got our package, it was filled with spoons. So automatically, me and Nicole decided that, okay, what can we do with spoon? We asked everyone to every spoon that you use, please put it in a plastic bag for us, and then we brought it home and then we wash it off. Or if we went to buy food or anything like that and they gave us spoons, we would hold the spoons from everyone. Or if we're eating at work, we would get we would put up the spoons, or we would use the metalware that they have at work and then just wash it, and that's what we brought.
So I noticed that some of them you have like the handle for the spoon still intact as well.
We did it because we didn't want it to seem like it had gaps in between. So we cut it a certain way, and then we cut it, measure. I made a compass out of cardboard and just bored holes in it and had it guide me along to draw the circle so that we could line up the spoons correctly.
And having the stems at the end actually allow it to lift higher. So that's why most of the outside ones have the stems at the end, so that they didn't really touch the silver.
So just so we're clear, you got spoons that were used.
Yes. Janella had a mirror here, but it wasn't working.
It wasn't coming out the box.
Yes, so we had to use this one because it was a two-fold mirror. So thankfully it was easier to come out of the plastic.
We made our own little candle holders, which was very, very hard. It seems simple, but it was very hard.
The beads is actually, I was in Carnival last year, so this was a part of my costume. This is plastic. It's a jar, the top is a jar, and the bottom is a gallon bottle. So we cut off the top of the gallon bottle and glued it on to the jar itself.
It's the same bottle?
No, two different plastic bottles.
And the plastic did not come with the decoration?
No, we did that.
And this is foam?
Yes.
For me, okay,
Yes.
kind of for me, yeah. They did have at least what they mentioned. They did meet the criteria of 75% recycling material.
I don't think that question needed to
Or
be
more,
asked.
but still, just needed to mention that, and the addition of the lamp, created the effect along with, with what they're producing here in terms of the mirror and the lights. The only issue I had here was mentioned was the little safety issue here, and hopefully they will look at that, and in the future when they're producing any type of recycler, look at the safety aspect, how people can be injured, and how to prevent that, or mitigate that aspect, It's not just a matter of sticking spoon, as some people will say when they look at this art, but you got to be very precise when you're making your circles so that you can stick the spoons
And you
in
could see
a very
that?
uniform manner, and you could see the result of the work when you do something like that, yeah?
You saw it clearly in the neatness and the detail.
So let's see what the rest will hold, what surprises we'll see tomorrow, yeah?
Hi, Eric.
Hey.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
Eric, all is well?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Eric.
So Eric, today we have Mr. Cano, who has been an integral part of doing your creative recycled art. We also have Miss Maxine Monsanto, who is the Senior Environmental Officer at the Department of the Environment. They will both be judging your masterpiece today. So I've been informed that your partner Robert is unavailable today, but that's okay because I'm sure that you both worked together on this piece.
So tell me about your project.
What we made a centerpiece, something like a coffee stand, and we also did some paper mache. All of it is paper mache. And we did some basket weaving using the newspaper. So as you can see here, we have the vase that actually has the paper in it, the flowers. Put whatever arrangement you want, and to be quite honest, you can put anything in it.
Yeah.
You can also, around it, you could stick a photograph of whomsoever you want. You can make it personal. It is a simple design. It has a tabletop, which is this. You have the forearms. So those are, well, in this case, legs. You have the 4 legs. And like I said, it was intentionally designed in a way that it appears to be misbalanced, right? It appears that it will fall over. It gives that more of an I've been through a lot look.
So it's stable.
It is stable. It's very much stable.
Okay.
Shredded the newspaper. We soaked it in water and, believe it or not, flour, and made glue. And then we compressed it. We used some pieces of board and we compressed it using a C-clamp to tighten it and to give it that strength. And then over there, as you can see, we have an oven, or what remains of our oven. We baked it to get rid of the moisture, and that would increase the stability and the strength in it. We got some papers, some past test papers, Dede and I. Unfortunate enough, we were able to get it from Robert's school. So they gave us some recycled paper, and we wrapped them together using the strength of, well, Steady, Robert. And we made the arms, and we just reinforced them with some wood to give it a more of a stable look and a stable structure.
So there's no bamboo inside, it's all...
No, that is completely hollow. If you can see right here, I could like push my hand in it, and it is completely hollowed out.
If you shred newspaper in water and create that slush, that alone in and of itself will hold together, and when it dries, it even becomes waterproof without the need of any flour. You create an environment, it's good, it's nice, but you create an environment where eventually insects will start to nib away at it, because flour is something that attracts, right?
So in essence, the idea was sound. It was just the technical execution of the addition of the flour.
But would I purchase it? Would I want it from me if I know it will break with me tomorrow?
Because I look at it and I'm trying to figure, you're saying it's stable.
Could always move it, and you see it's there. Move it from there and you put it in the other direction. And
you lift it up and...
there you go.
The legs lift up and move.
The legs are flexible.
The legs are flexible.
Well done. I must say that again, the idea is original. I appreciate that you have used more than one waste product in your execution of your idea that you had, and I think that's wonderful.
Guys, I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Maxine Monsanto. She's the Senior Environmental Officer at the Department of Environment. And you guys remember Mr. Cano? Both of them will be judging your masterpieces that you've created and you've used with your waste materials. So introduce us.
Okay, so this first one, we did some research, and what it is, we actually created everything out of paper. The only thing that is not out of paper is these, right? So even the back is made out of magazine.
Wow,
excellent. You roll up.
Wow, that's that's good.
And then this is made out of magazine papers. We had the idea because it was supposed to be a big heart at first, right, Ash?
With the whole box adding pictures and what's not.
Okay.
But because the whole time limit and the fact that the glue we had to try to manage everything. So basically, it ended up to change one whole lot from our big heart to an angel and now to this.
But your original concept was you wanted to do a frame.
Yeah.
With pictures.
Yeah.
The entire thing except for this foil is made out of paper.
Yeah.
And you got all the paper from where?
The magazine.
So the one magazine that they gave you?
Not one magazine. It was multiple magazines.
Multiple magazines.
Yeah.
Basically what you got in your package.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a heart. Now you end up with a heart with wings.
Yeah.
Execution of the idea, I might say, it didn't change. But, I was just, a little bit taken aback that you didn't know whether or not you could have added on more stuff.
Oh no. The moment I get in materials, I said to myself, I don't know what I want to do. So that's the reason my mind was go crazy. I'm ready to do this. I want to do this. No.
But
not being psyched.
That being said, with what you did with the limited items that you had, it would be, I think it's a very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Frame.
I did this to just symbolize something. I like the red as well, but it was a symbolism for me because when it comes to family, sometimes it breaks apart, or rips apart, but it always stays together in some kind of way. So there's a symbolism behind it.
The way you did it and what you use, I must tell you, is it's very creative.
Yeah.
It makes it strong. I don't if it's hung up on the wall or pin on the wall, I don't see it deteriorating anytime soon.
Either you could just use duct tape for the back because it's not that heavy. If you lift it up, you could realize that it's not that heavy if you hold it. See, it's not that heavy. Right?
Yeah, it's not that heavy. They actually use a little bit of stuff to make something great, and so
it makes it difficult to judge.
Yes, you have more points on one end, and then the other group have more points on the other end. So it will be sort of.
Truthfully though, I think creativity for both of them, they were right because these are not things I would have thought of in my head.
Yes,
so it was very original.
A table, picture frame. It does say a lot for their creativity.
So you guys have been working. Tell us a bit about what you have here.
We have a double tier center table. We have vases. And we also have a magazine/newspaper holder centerpiece here at the top.
The entire thing is made out of glass, every component.
Everything is from glass.
Including your centerpiece?
Yes.
First we had to clean the glass. It was very dirty. And we taped it off and we used spray paint to get it silver and black. The pint bottles were obviously used bottles.
Yeah, they were given to us. These ones at the bottom are different from the ones in the middle.
Yeah, they're a bit shorter.
Yeah, you could take that out. And that's just a vase.
This idea of a double-tiered center table, I would call it that. What the Chashong idea, so they come up with this idea.
Well, we were very skeptical about dealing with the only material that can easily break. And so we did our research here and there, and actually what we wanted to do initially was to create glasses. We tried to cut the glass, but that was a failed effort.
It didn't work.
So we had to start thinking on our feet, and we thought about making the center table from the get-go. This was actually supposed to be a real functioning clock. But
that didn't work.
Painted on the clock.
But we couldn't get it to cut and put the motor in and all that.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, well, let's just make a newspaper holder. You go into offices all the time and you have newspapers just lying around. What if we were to just create this to hold them up? And so that is how this idea came about. If I'm on this side of the table, I see that, but if I'm on the other side,
hold the magazine.
There is also another message. And of course, we always want to encourage other people to reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Shucks, you really did own a glass. and that's fascinating, A lot of times people tend to use other waste materials to build upon their art. But you use all glass.
Yeah, we just stuck to what was given to us.
Well done. I'm surprised, I must say.
So would you like to present them?
Okay, sure. Because of the glass, I really don't know how to explain, but because of just it's all glass, I said probably it should be out of the reach of children. That's the reason why I have these strings, so it can be hung from the ceiling. And the other thing, I said it can also be used as a centerpiece, so that's why I use 4 bottles so it can turn into a stand, and probably sweets go in these or something.
Can this disconnect?
Yes, it can. We didn't want to stray too far from using the glass that it was unrecognizable when we are finished.
And this bottle was a Grey Goose bottle. I only sprayed the inside so that the hazy look from the outside remains. And it can use as a vase, a florist vase. This one is the top of a Smirnoff bottle, the mouth of a Smirnoff bottle. We turned it into a candle holder. You can hang it.
Okay, so if you hang it up, all right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
What percentage of a project is all recyclable material?
It's like, we would say 80% because everything was found at the dump site, including the cloth, and the only thing like...
And these little jewelry things, yeah, I picked those up at the dump site.
At the dump site, we picked up.
You're looking around, eh?
Yeah.
Earlier, this is what you envisioned.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay.
You know, when you're getting involved in these type of arts and projects and things like this, you know, it expands your horizon, your knowledge. You know, give you opportunity to get into new things that you haven't thought about before or you haven't learned before, you know. So you didn't know to cut a bottle, you know to cut it now.
Yes.
With a bit more knowledge, you can do it quicker and easier and more neater so that you don't have to be having that trial and error time over a long period of time, you know. But well done, well done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
As it pertains to recycling though, I must state that this is a recycling art competition, so to speak. We use the term recycle in this case very loosely because if you interpret recycle, depending on who you're talking to, you have some very technical people out there who say, well, these things, none of them are recycled. But I've been in this thing long enough, and recycling, as I mentioned in the group before, reuse, just taking a product, polishing it, and changing the color, that's reuse. Yeah. Recycling means the product has to go through some sort of modification, some sort of chemical transformation or structural transformation. In this case, you know, we could debate this all day long, but if you go look at this, for example, the glasses were cut. It went through a process. Small as it might be, it still went through a process. The other groups who work with plastic and paper, these things were processed. So, you know, they are recycled. To what extent, if you want to go technical, not 100%, but therefore I gotta state that we are using the term recycle very loosely here for, you know, when you think about it, the type of people who are involved in this project and in this competition in terms of doing recycling art and stuff like that. You know, when I first came and I meet these groups and we start off this competition, I didn't know what to expect from these groups. You know, you tend to think back on some craft in primary school and people who don't know anything about it, you know, just basically assembled. But I was really surprised in what was put out. You know, from the ones in San Ignacio, Belmapana, all the way here in Belize City, the groups keep on surprising me more and more with their creativity and their originality and the way they put together. Some even went beyond just the main package and the guidance that we gave them. They went above and beyond to secure additional materials to expand on their projects. You know, and that was what gave me comfort in that, you know, people actually can get into this in a small period of time, but if they put the effort and have that motivation, they can get into it more and more, you know.
Teams, last week, you spent your day at the transfer station scavenging for waste materials. And in 7 days, you created your masterpieces and presented them to the judge. Some were great, and some weren't.
As you know, this is a competition. So there will be, or there is, a winner. And there's also a loser. Someone will be going home today. Our top 3 themes are Janella and Nicole. Ashton and Steven. Woo! And we also have Anlin and Kaya.
Anlin and Kaya, the judges were impressed with your ability to make your product out of completely 100% glass.
Nicole and Janella, the judges were impressed with your unique touch to details in forming your masterpiece.
Ashton and Steven, the judges liked your simplicity and your ability to make a functionable work of art.
Coming in at third place is Ashton and Steven. Coming in at second place is Nicole and Janella. Meaning that we have our first place winners. The winners to Trash Talk being Kaya and Anlin. Great job, girls.
The rest of teams in the bottom three, Delbert and Anthony, Sumit and Delwyn, Eric and Robert. Delbert and Anthony, the judges appreciated your notion to come up with something different and trying to be original.
Eric and Robert, the judges were impressed with your techniques to develop your paper table. And Delwyn and Summit, the judges were impressed with your ways of creating your unique style.
In fourth place, we have Eric and Robert. The last place team in Trash Talks is Summit and Delwyn. So that means Delbert and Anthony, you guys are safe. Summit and Delwyn, we thank you for participating in.
Guys, we are sorry about this, but we have just been informed that you guys are not going home today.
Keep in mind, you're still standing next to your rivals. Since no one is going home, we won't be having a cash prize for you. But the first place winners do get a prize. Congratulations.
We put a lot of work into our glass piece. For me, I just wanted to do it and do it as good as possible and get it out of the way.
It was definitely a confidence booster, you know. We're here to win. That's what we're here to do, and so we always put forth our best.
So that's it for this episode of Trash Talk.
Stay tuned next week for another episode of the EnviroConnect Belize competition.